Make his eyes light up. Yeah! All right, welcome to episode 145 of the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Powers, and joining me once again are my lovely group of friends, starting with Rachel.
Hello.
She lost her Zelda earlier and freaked out trying to find it, but she's calm now.
I got it.
Yeah, she got it. Steven.
Hello.
And then we have Chase.
Hello.
How you guys all doing today?
Good.
All right. So we're going to get through this episode because I'm going on vacation. We might have an episode next week. It depends on when I get home. We'll see. If not, I have an extra quarter I can throw in its place, but I'm going to try and do it. Maybe we'll get news from Nintendo. Probably not. Either way, this episode...
All the news is when you're on vacation. Remember that.
That's how it usually goes.
That's what happens.
That's happened a few times. I remember...
We're going to get Switch 2 pre-order links, and they're going to do like a Transformers anniversary collection, and you're going to miss all of it.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, if somebody orders that for me, I will pay you back. It will happen.
There'll be like all the games on one disc.
Oh, man. All right, so I'm going to actually go first this week because I had a few things to talk about. I know you guys are going to talk about Zelda because for this time, I'm not. I have Zelda. I did get it. I even have my lovely little Switch Lite that will probably remain in this box. I opened it once, looked at it, and went, oh, that's neat, and then put it right back. I hate the Switch Lite.
It's not mint in box anymore.
I don't care. I hate the idea and design behind the Switch Lite, but I'm also an idiot that buys all the Zelda systems. I know I'm wrong. I know that's my problem, but I did it. I'm a grown man with grown man money. But the reason I haven't started Zelda yet is because I am right at the end of Emio the Smiley Man. I'm like partway through chapter 11, and I looked it up. There's only 12 chapters, and it's getting really good. Like, it's already been good, but the mystery's getting kind of crazy, and I'm actually going to see this through first. So
I'm wanting to get the rest of those games, like that technically takes place before all of that. So
didn't they release some of those digitally on the Switch?
Yeah, they're all digital.
I may have to get those too because now
And then another company released theirs too, so there's two more successors, kind of.
Ooh.
Oh, you'll have to send me a link for those because I love this kind of crap.
I do too. I'm trying to get Amanda to play them. I think she would like this.
Because they're kind of in the same vein of, oh God, what was that game that you guys were playing?
I can't even think.
That narrows it down at least.
Right. What was that one we were playing?
The visual novel mystery one kind thing. Jeremy, you recommended one of them to me that was on like Game Boy Color or something, and it was a combo thing. Let me.
That was actually originally an NES one.
Yes.
And it got brought over to Game Boy Color with the first two games together.
Yes.
Crap. It was the detective one. I remember that.
Yes, I'm scrolling up.
As a
Give
PI.
me a moment. Deja Vu.
Deja Vu, yes.
Yes.
Deja Vu is a good one.
But you guys were playing something else that was kind of in that vein, and I don't remember what it was. It was it was on the Genesis, I think, wasn't it?
Snatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snatcher's a whole... Believe me, if I let Stephen go off about Snatcher right now, I would just go get something to eat. Because he could do it. That man knows Snatcher. It's amazing. Speaking of which, for fun plug, if you would like to know about Snatcher, go check out our YouTube channel where we all, Stephen and I, played through Snatcher my very first time and his nowhere near first time, and got reactions and talked about it and stuff. Fun game. I liked it. But yeah, Emio's really kind of got its hooks in me, and I'm enjoying to play it, especially when traveling. It's like the perfect travel game for me. But once I finish it, I'll have Zelda with me while I'm on vacation, and I'll start it then. But around all of my travels, Stephen, Chase, and I have finally started playing Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2, which we have tried to get as much time into as we can. We have spent a lot of time getting onto the invisible jet because there's a weird bug where we would start the level and then it would put us right back where the ship would launch without the ship. And we had to look it up and find out we had to go walk to where the ship is together until it finally glitched and let us into the level over and over again. I'm hoping they fixed that by now, but it was really funny. But I think, I think we're having fun with it so far. Stephen and Chase, you guys seem to be enjoying it, as far as I can tell. We're still playing it.
Yeah, it's very visceral. We missed that.
Yes. We might try and get like a level or two in tonight if we can before my flights. Beyond that, we finally started playing Gloomhaven after completely blanking out after a wall of explanation. And I had to eventually stop Shnoa and go, I can't keep up with all this information. It's too much. I got severe ADHD and I was just like blanking out, and I would come back in halfway through the conversation going, what did I just miss? Crap. Can we just play this and see what happens? But we got into it. It was fun. We did find out the weird thing that I can't change from a keyboard and mouse to a controller or back and forth without having to restart the connection online, which is such a weird thing. Beyond that, after Steven had to hop off last night, we started playing Demio, and that was a lot of fun. I have enjoyed playing that on VR, and I finally got to play it on my PC more. We got absolutely slaughtered after a while, but we got to at least play around and see with that. And then the last thing is I finally went and saw Transformers 1 today. I waited until Brent got home, and I've been hearing very mixed things about it. Some people loved it, some people hated it, and I was like, this is a very divisive thing, and I kind of wondered why. I'm on the side of it being a really good movie. We went and watched it. Transformers is going to have different story takes on their own. They don't all have to be connected. Armada and Energon, stuff like that are one series. You've got, Prime and some of the other stuff that are connected, animated its own thing, G1 Beast Wars, there's different takes on it. So I just kind of view this as that, but it is chock full of references, like beautifully done G1 and other references all throughout it, which thankfully no one was sitting around us. Yes, I did the faux pas. Me and Brent were talking the entire movie because we just could not leave each other alone. Like, oh, did you see that? Oh, look at this over here. Oh, they said the thing, but it was fun. We came out of it, really enjoyed it. Looking forward to getting it when it comes out for home release. Might actually go see it again in theaters, depending. So, but yeah, thumbs up, Transformers fan. It's a good one. Oh, I'm hearing people message stuff. All right, so we'll go on to you next, Steven. What you been doing?
One is no surprise. ZZZ just had a huge update, 14 gigs worth update on the 27th. On the 24th. And there's like more story to play now, so there's plenty to do because I was hitting a grind because I had done everything else. Multiverses is still chugging along right now. Like I said, it's the Powerpuff Girls, so they're trying to push that in your face that everybody should play as them. So they're doing a pretty good job there. Other than that, I did enjoy Gloomhaven. It is up my alley with games I've played before. I like to play those like trial and error.
Once we got in there, we started figuring it out.
I like to just play them, and then if somebody wants me to skip the tutorial now, that's what I'll do. But then I'll play the tutorial later because then they'll tell me what everything means visually. They'll point to an arrow or something and be like, "This number means," and then I'll just compartmentalize that.
Right.
For right now, I was just like, okay, this says I can move 4 or attack 6. I'll do one of those. I'll just figure it out later. I don't care if I die. But
I know we need to work on communication because I didn't say anything. You were like, "Oh, I'm dying, so I'm just gonna go run into this room and just attack a bunch of stuff." And I was like, "I just readied up 2 spells to try and heal you, and now you're out of range." I was like, "I should have said something."
But yeah, Space Marine 2 has been going along well too.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make sure that they put me as the second player because the guy has I forget his name already, but he's got a red helmet. Because I call him Samus AA Ron. Because I was just like, I don't know why he's the only one with a red helmet, but I'll take it. The game is slowly starting to change into Gears of War JD Simulator, where everybody hates the main character, so that's funny. And then lastly, I've been looking forward to this because, and I'm going to be blunt as a Nintendo fan here, I've been tired of the common 2D Zelda formula, and having something where now everything is just a puzzle was so appealing to me. So I'm at only the first town, but I'm already having a lot of fun.
Nice. All right. Chase, what about you? What have you been doing?
Well,
Wheel.
been obviously playing Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 campaign. Finally, we got into it. Really enjoying it. It's pretty much everything that I expected from a from a game like this, where you're basically just indestructible badass. I think the game is really well done. Hopefully, these games were originally intended as a trilogy, so I hope Saber gets the nod for the third one if they do decide to do it, because I think they've handled it really well.
Yeah.
So I'm loving every minute of it. Can't wait till we jump into the operations mode, because I really like how they've tied that into the story in a way. So it's going to be good. We all did Gloomhaven as well, as you guys have said. Unfortunately, Shinoa decided that she needed to explain everything without anybody seeing anything. So that was a little bit of a... I finally just had to say, like, just stop talking and let's just play, because otherwise they're not going to understand a word you're saying. And big thanks to Jeremy for recommending Demio. Absolutely awesome game. I'm loving every second of it. So we played after you went to bed. We played another round, and that went better. But yeah, really enjoying it.
Yeah, if you get to try Demio in VR, it's awesome. Like, just give it a go sometime. It's a lot of fun.
So Shinoa's actually played it in VR. That's what she actually got it, because she saw the trailer for it, and it looked like a game that was right up her alley. And it was on VR, because she's got the PSVR too. And so she was like, oh my... When she started playing it, she got to like throw the dice and like pick up her character and move and stuff. She's like, oh my God, this game's amazing. So then she played it for ages. And then she kind of like, it was on the back burner because other games have come out, obviously. And then when you brought it up that day, she's like, oh my God, I love this game. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to buy it. And we could play that, because that was a no-brainer to me. Nice. So it's pretty fun. I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that one some more as well. It's a nice little pickup game.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly, Rachel, because I know you have a bunch of stuff on there. What have you been doing?
Well,
all right, everyone, get comfortable.
Listen, I'm gonna make it pretty quick. I'm gonna make it pretty quick, okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Listen, all right. I've also been playing Zelda. I'm having a pretty good time with it.
Nice.
I had some difficulty in the beginning because it starts immediately with a stealth section after you get to where you're playing Zelda. And I won't say anything else than that, and I'm absolute crap at stealth.
I want to say something, though, that Nintendo did in this that they've done in the past, and even Capcom's done, that I love, is if you're a person who likes to like tinker with everything, it teaches you a mechanic before you even get to the stealth.
Yes, it did.
Because I'll just say it, but I won't say what it does later. I went into a house and I threw a pot, and they all got surprised. and Chris started laughing. And I was like, "Well, that was new."
Yes, it was. It was one of those things that I was like, "Oh, okay, I have to start over on this part. Oh my gosh!" And this is very puzzly, and I love it. I love puzzles. But boy howdy, did it call me out at one point, because you get to a point where where you essentially meet your first monsters, and the thing you're with is like, do you know how to fight monsters, Zelda? And then me in my brain, I'm like, I know how to fight monsters. I've played Link all my life. Where's my oh, I don't have a sword. How am I gonna fight monsters? And that's it's been very enjoyable. I just got done with my first rift, and it's having a lot of fun with it. The map is huge, massive.
Yeah, it's 4 times the size as Link's Awakening.
Yeah, nice. It's huge. And I kind of want to go back and play Link's Awakening now, because I'm kind of into this art style.
Link's Awakening is still my favorite 2D Zelda.
Yeah. And I've also been playing Plucky Squire. I know it's got a little bit of criticisms to it with how it runs on Switch, but I haven't had any issues with it so far. I really like how you have to kind of use your noggin with it, because you have to go from 2D to 3D to back to 2D to back to 3D again to solve certain puzzles, and it involves a lot of fourth wall breaking. There's some really, really clever dialogue in there, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think I'm on chapter 5. I don't know how many chapters there are, but it's good. And then I'm playing Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I just reached the park section after you exit Dark Beauty Castle, and it looks beautiful. It just looks so good. And I feel like I'm playing it again for the first time, because I remember my parents bought me a Wii, and they bought me this game with the Wii, and I played it on Christmas morning in our living room.
I still have the paintbrush and nunchuck controller for it.
Yeah, I did not get that. I did not go that hard.
I came across it later. I didn't buy it like when it came out, but
yeah, but I'm enjoying that too. I also got a bunch of digital games, because Square Enix was kind of doing a big old sale with all their stuff. So nice. If you have a Switch and you're on the eShop and you're looking for a bunch of RPG stuff from Square Enix and more, they're doing some kind of massive sale on the eShop right now. I got Saga Frontier, I got Romancing Saga Minstrel Song, I got Romancing Saga 2 and 3, and I got Paranorma Sight, which has been on my list for a little while. They were all like 50 to 75% off, like each. Nice. In the eShop. I think nice. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 or 7 games for like $32, like ridiculously cheap for what they are.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had been going to the local retro shops at least once a week the last couple weeks, and just kind of grabbing stuff for DS. Since I've kind of noted that certain things have been going up in price for the DS right now, because their handheld is making a really big comeback with modding and all that different thing. So games are going up, prices of the consoles themselves are going up.
Yeah, some of the prices you sent me, I was like, oh, walk away. That's insane.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that because not next weekend, because I don't know that I have time, or maybe I will. My plan is to visit one of the GameStop retros, and see if because it's so new, they might not know what they have, kind of thing.
Just make sure you don't buy any fakes, because they don't know.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I would not. No, yeah, but if I do, and it's like stupid cheap, it's whatever.
Fake hardware is way less of an issue, but the fake games, that's a problem.
I'm more so, if I'm going to the GameStop retro, I'm gonna look more at the hardware than I am the software, just because a lot of times they don't know what they have, and they haven't necessarily caught up to what the actual market value is, believe it or not. And that's coming from someone who worked there for almost 10 years of their life. But I acquired a bunch of retro things. Polarium DS, Planet Puzzle League, Viva Pinata Pocket Paradise, Looney Tunes Duck-a-Muck, which is just silly and stupid.
It's great, isn't it?
It's fun. If I think, honestly, if I just need a brain break, I would just pop in that game and just play one of the little options.
There is no real story. It's just you messing with Daffy Duck in the best ways.
Just dicking around with Daffy Duck.
Glad they didn't use that title.
Man, they could have. It would have been same
dicking around with Daffy.
But I also picked up Spectrobes, and that actually is kind of cool. I finally, the last Layton game that I was missing, because this was the one I lost. Like, I don't know where it went.
Know you're missing one.
Yeah, I was missing just Miracle Mask. Had all of the other ones. Just Miracle Mask, just kind of. But that's okay. It's okay that it's all right. I got a really good price on it. I was surprised it was as cheap as it was, because I looked it up, and then was like, okay, and then they rang it up for it.
I have to look. I believe I may have an extra case and everything for that game in particular for you.
Oh, cool.
Because I know you were talking about you weren't too big about having to have the cases, but I feel like the Layton ones, if you had a set, you would probably want those complete. Just feels like you would.
Maybe, probably.
But it's the Layton games.
Yes, but I also acquired, and this is going to sound silly to you guys, but Disney Magical World 1 and 2.
No, I was actually interested about those
too, and the Switch version.
What?
I was curious to see how. I want
to
hear how you like them.
What do you mean, what?
they made Magical World for Switch.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they basically, I think it's the second one, but they added like 300 more items you could get or something like that.
Oh, interesting. But anyway, I got them on DS. They're on 3DS, and they're really cute. And it's like, it's got some Animal Crossing vibes, but it's not quite Animal Crossing. It's just got a lot of like little adventures and little quest things that you should do. It's like baby's first RPG without any of the combat. It's cute. Like it's really cute, and it's a good game to play when you're not wanting anything stressful. You're just wanting to relax, and maybe you want to go to Disney, but you don't want to go to Disney at the same time. This is the game for you. I also picked up Ever Oasis, which I'm having a lot of fun with, and Miitopia, which I haven't played too much, but I made my Mii and I got to the first town.
Miitopia is so weird.
It's very strange. And I will say, doing stuff with the Miis again makes me hope and pray that for some strange reason Nintendo goes, well, let's bring back Spot Pass with the Switch too, because I think that would be fun. So
I miss Street Pass.
I miss Spot Pass, Street Pass, all of that.
Switch 2 Lite.
Switch 2 Lite.
Honestly, why couldn't it be a feature like, oh, it's too big to carry around? Cool, build it into the Joy-Con. Make it one of the Joy-Cons have that option. Like,
yeah, so it's like if when you brought around your Pokewalkers.
Exactly.
See, they should hire us, Jeremy. All right, but anyway, and I'm a little over halfway done with Astrobot, and that's it. That's nice. my thing. That's what I've been doing. Everything else that I've been doing is not game related. So,
fair enough.
You made it with a time of 9 minutes 30 seconds.
Well, you actually timed her? Oh my god.
Listen, that's probably the shortest one that I've had when I've had a long one. So,
well, we were making fun of the list, so I was like, I'm going to time it.
Be proud of me. I made it short.
That's fantastic.
And we had some good talking points in there too.
There was.
You did great.
Once again, I'm happy that you actually did like hunt down the list of games I sent you to suggest, and I hope you really enjoy a bunch of those, because you got some of my favorites on there.
Oh yeah, so far I've really liked Ever Oasis the best so far.
It's a good one. I love the world of running around in there. It's so colorful.
It's got a lot going for it. There's a couple of other ones that I saw that I was like, oh, I'll have to come back and look at that one again. But one thing I did notice is they had a copy of Sands of Destruction, right?
Ooh.
And it was like $90 something, and I go, that game looks familiar. And I go, why does that game look familiar to me? I don't know why it looks familiar, but it looks really familiar. Why does it look familiar? And I'm sitting here going, why? I don't know why it looks familiar to me. And then I remember I got home and I was putting all my copies of my games away, right? And I have a PSP memory card that's like 4 gigabytes in here. Huge PSP memory card, by the way. Massive. And then I open up one of my cases, and what do I see? I have Sands of Destruction right here.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
I have an almost $100 DS game.
That's Sega, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to look that one up later.
It's very different. It's also hard, but good. But there was all of my like research and stuff of looking for other DS stuff. There's some games that I know only existed on the eShop that I just was like, man, I wish I had actually gotten that, because that looks really cool, because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. So when I get my mod on,
Yeah, you want to,
Well,
once we find you a good DSi and a good 3DS, we'll get some stuff going for you.
Yes.
That way you can have the best of both of them, and on the hardware they're meant for. It works better that way.
yeah, some
Yep.
people's systems of their batteries are starting to bulge, so you're gonna have to look around, find one that's, I guess, good shape.
Yeah, thankfully that's not too difficult because most of those batteries they continue to use for like the Pro controllers and stuff like that. So they're still
Yeah.
fairly easy to get and get new
The
ones.
batteries themselves.
Yes. Thankfully they like to reuse those for their controllers and it's great. That's why they
The Pro
last so damn
controller
long.
literally uses a Wii U gamepad battery, and that's why it lasts 80 hours. Or no, sorry, a 3DS XL battery, and that's why it lasts 80 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to do any graphics; it just has to be a controller.
Listen, Nintendo, I didn't know that they were reduced, reuse, recycle, but I'm glad that Nintendo is reduce, reuse, recycle. That is big in my book. Good for
Makes
them.
sense.
I
I
love
mean,
them.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm a proponent. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I guess they are too, in some respects.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our news for this week. And sadly, we have to start off with an announcement of someone passing. So the great Maggie Smith has passed away at the age of 89. And for a lot of people growing up, she was in a lot of other stuff as well, but many of her know her as Professor McGonagall from the Harry Potter series, which I know we don't normally talk about that series, but this feels like a time, given the work she put into it and all that, okay, we will actually mention it this one time. But she's been in so many other things too. Like every time I see her pop up, say what?
She was Grandma Wendy in Hook.
Grandma Wendy.
Oh God, I forgot that was actually her. Holy crap.
She was in old lady makeup when she was 55, and it was pretty spot on with how she aged. And she was also the grandma in Downton Abbey.
Yeah, I knew about that one. I saw some clips, some older movies with her with a couple other actors I knew, and it was really funny because she was just straight up foul mouthed through the entire thing, just sitting there looking at this guy going like, "You're an asshole," and just going off about it. I was like, "Yeah, you know what?
She's in a
Still
really
feels
old
fine if they're doing
Carol
that."
Burnett sketch too, where they sing and dance.
Yes, and
She's been
she
around
was
forever. I mean,
she was also in I think it was the mini series version of David Copperfield, and that's actually where she met Daniel Radcliffe for the first time when he was a little small boy. So
tiny Daniel Radcliffe,
tiny Dan Rad. So not that he isn't still a short man, but he was very tiny.
But yeah, I think one of you guys posted that on the Discord the other day, and I was like audibly like, "Oh, damn it!" Like,
I was
liked
like,
her.
it's one of those things that, and I had this conversation with a friend of mine, is there will be a day when all of our favorite celebs are gone, and that makes me very sad to think about. But at the same time, it's like, they're immortalized in film, so if you miss them, you can always see them. But
Quick,
I was
everybody
so
protect
sad.
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh God, circle of protection around Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews right now.
No kidding. Oh man.
Lord. Oh God, but no, I was really upset. I found out while at work, and I had to sit down for 5 minutes. And then one of my coworkers was like, "What is going on? Why are you crying?" And I told him, "Dame Maggie Smith died." And he goes, "Who is that?" And I go, and I looked at him,
smack him right there in the face.
I looked at him like in shock, and the person next to me, who was also upset, looked at him in shock. And I go, "Professor McGonagall? Grandma Wendy? The grandma from and I just started naming off, and he's like, I don't know any of those things." And I was like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I'm gonna haul out and slap you." And he's like, "I don't watch any." And I said, "What do you mean you don't? What do you watch?"
Yeah,
Goes,
I don't hit children, even though Threads thinks I do and suspended my account temporarily for it. But I will hit a child for this.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was just shocked. Like, how do you not know who Dame Maggie Smith is?
Because she's been in so many things over the decades, literally decades.
Like this one really got to me. Like there's been some celeb deaths that have got to me, but this one,
Well, we can't forget she's also Lady Superior too.
Oh, that's right, Sister Act. That's right.
Oh my God,
that was my first exposure to her was in that.
I mean, she's
Was
had
the
a hell of a
Sister
life.
Act
She was
it?
89 when she passed. I mean, that is a long damn life. And she's been acting a good chunk of that. So definitely look up her past stuff and dive into it. You're in for some entertainment. So she will be missed.
But
Hmm?
yeah, it was bad. Ugh, I can't stop thinking about it.
I'm sorry, Rachel. I knew it was going to be. I was like, I know Rachel's going to take this one hard.
I took it hard when I like it came across my feed, and then I immediately shared it with like a bunch of people in a bunch of discords that I am in. I called my mom, and the first thing that I wanted to do when I got home and I settled in was I wanted to watch Hook. It's not available anywhere on streaming right now. It was on Disney Plus for the longest time, and they took it off, and I
You
don't
should be
know
able to
why.
watch Sister Act at least.
Yeah, so I was so mad, and I didn't want to watch any of the Potter films because I just was not in the mood. I watched Casper of all things because I was just so mad. I was like, you know what? Picks random movie off the shelf, puts it in the
Okay,
DVD
but
player.
I don't remember her being in Casper. But
She wasn't. I was just
okay.
I did that one of those angry random DVD things. So Lord knows the next time I go to the like used book and movie store, I will look for Hook because
everybody remembers her quote from Sister Act with the girl groups boogie woogie on the piano.
oh, I can hear her saying boogie woogie even in that in her accent.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, she will definitely be missed. All right, let's move on to our beginning of our gaming news.
More depressing news.
Jesus Christ, Steven.
It's the Sony State of Play.
Yeah. We're just going to jump in. I don't even know how to go in from that. Holy crap. We went from a person dying to a state of play. Whatever. All right. So the Sony State of Play happened earlier this week. Rachel's just looking like, I don't know what to say on this.
I watched it live with Joey and a bunch of people from Cerulean Skies.
Mm-hmm.
And we... our reactions were just really funny.
Steven and I, we a couple of us had gotten on there to watch the State of Play as well because we didn't see it at work, or while I was at work. So we came home and watched it without seeing anything else and had our live reactions, which was pretty funny. It was just me, Steven, and Chase. You were there too, right?
No, Chris was off camera.
Chris, that's what it was. Yeah, I was like, I know there's a third person. Who was it? I forgot. It was
I
Chris.
didn't get the invite to this party.
Well, given the weird time, you were probably asleep. But we got
or
Chris'
you were at work.
elbow. So if you're missing
probably.
Chris, you can see his elbow. He is alive.
His whole elbow. Wow.
I think we got copyright strike because of his elbow.
Yeah, it's someone already owned the patent on elbows. So
yeah,
I can't believe you got copyright struck. I just don't understand why.
Do you know who did it? Did it say who did it?
Yeah, some company talking about like they own two parts of the music. And I was like, I don't even recognize the company. And I'm just like, whatever. I just let it go. I still laugh at the fact that the first time we ever got copyright struck and had an episode taken down and I had to fight it was over Rachel's face somehow. They kept thinking it was Rachel, that somebody owned Rachel. It's still
I'm a model, I guess.
If you know what I mean.
Oh, Lord. All right. Sony State of Play. God, we've just wandered right off of that one. So it started off with... We're being more entertaining than it was. Astrobot free DLC, which I'm fine with. This includes 5 new speedrun levels, which, oh my God, those things are so difficult. I don't know if I want more of them. 10 new bots to rescue, which is fine. The free DLC launches this fall, includes at least, we know of 2 of them. You get a guy from Helldivers, which was kind of nice because they do the salute, and one from Stellarblade, among other things. Depending on lawsuit that we'll talk about later. So yeah, anybody else excited for Astrobot stuff? I mean, it's free DLC.
I am.
It's a great game.
I love Astrobot. Although the challenge levels, like for the square, the circle, the triangle.
Oh God, they get so much harder.
Oh my God. And listen, they're as hard as the Rock and Rumble levels or the ones where the floor goes. Oh,
Yeah, I like the challenge on the ones where you have to break the floor to drop the stuff out in the middle, because it's so difficult trying to dodge stuff while trying to cut a circle around the map.
No, listen, there was one that I played on, not the stream that I had today, but the stream I had before, that had me cursing. I had to exit the level and go play another few levels and then come back to it. And then I finally got it. And
Nice.
it's listen, Astrobot is a really fun platformer. It has been a platformer that I've been wanting and like that I've been feel that I've been seeking for years and didn't know what I wanted. And this is it. And it's supposed to be a kid's game, and it's still hard.
Yep. Next up, we had The Midnight Walk. This is coming to PS5, PSVR 2, and PC. I found out when I was looking into it. This one, I really like the stop motion claymation.
The complete
style.
claymation.
Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. I was
It
like,
makes
okay.
me think of Don't Starve a little
Oh, okay. I could see
in
that.
the art style.
Yeah. More of a claymation version of that, but yeah, when you look at Don't Starve, the rough drawing sketch style of it, that kind of makes sense. I want to see what this one's about, at least. I'm glad it's coming to PC so I can mess with because it's available to play in VR and out of VR. It's not required, so you can play it on just a normal PS5 without having to have the headset or just a normal PC. But
you should look up also, especially if you like point and click games, Harold Halibut. That's entirely made in claymation as well.
I've heard of that one. Okay, I definitely know
on
that one.
Xbox and PlayStation and PC.
Nice. Is that like? I just need to get reminders later because I'll record the show and I'll be like, "We suggested this," and I went and I forgot when I edited it. Sorry, like I can't remember shit. Next up, we had the Hell, or I'm sorry, not the. It's just Hell is Us. This one's coming to PS5, Series X, S, and PC. This is from Road Factor and Nacon, so it's now in development, but it looks kind of neat.
Stranding.
It's Hell Stranding, yeah. It's kind of what it felt like.
Hell Stranding.
Rachel, I loved your note for this next one. Metro Awakening, more VR. This one,
they showed up. I feel like half of this state of play was just PSVR 2, and I was like, I don't care, Sony. I don't care.
I was interested to see it as soon as I found out it's coming, not just to PSVR 2, but also for PC and Quest. So I can get it on those and play them, and I like VR, so I'm okay with that. But we'll have to see. Archage Chronicles coming in 2025. I didn't really see too much on this one. Pal World. It's this dropped for everyone worldwide except Japan. Japan.
I wonder
can't
why
have
that
it right
is.
now because they're in the middle of a lawsuit with Nintendo, and Japan went no. So
I just think that's like when that came up on the trailer when we were watching it, we just went, "Oh, well, isn't that timely?"
Yeah, it seems like maybe they knew something was going on and they were trying to bite it in the butt beforehand. But it's kind of funny that Japan is the only place that it did not launch, and you cannot play it on PlayStation right now.
Oops.
Next, we had Lunar Remastered Collection. So this one's coming spring 2025. It's PS4, PS5, Series S, X, and Switch. Which immediately I was like, well, this seems like a Switch game to me. All RPGs are like Switch titles for me now. But was it just me, or did the animation feel like when Disney tried to do HD versions of like Cinderella and stuff, and they smoothed it out so much, all the detail went away? The animation felt like that's what happened. Like they upscaled it, but flattened it.
Yes, but it is the complete versions of both games, from my understanding. So it is the better versions of.
Oh no!
Well, in some respects, like with one of them, it is.
For those listening, Steven is incessantly shaking his head no.
But
Steven, go ahead.
Then finish your thought, Rachel.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
But yeah, no, like from it was just from some commentary that we had when we were watching it.
Oh yeah, I'm
And
sure
they
that
were
was
like,
a fun conversation.
Oh no, Joey screamed, like he literally was like, yeah. It was probably
Tell his ass to actually say hi sometime. Or like, what's going on with you, man? You haven't talked to us in a while.
Buddy's been, he's doing full-time content creation. He's streaming all the time. So just
I still want to check in our little Joey.
we gotta hop into his stream sometime. I hop in at least once a week whenever I can. But no, he seemed pretty happy about it overall. I mean,
Nice.
Hey, listen, even if it's not the best versions of the games coming onto these things, they're getting played by more people. So
I agree. Yeah.
Who cares?
Steven cares. Steven, go ahead with your thought.
You can play your original version, which I'm sure you have.
So there's two camps to this game.
Okay.
And there's the Sega CD camp, and then there's the PlayStation camp. These are both the PlayStation versions, which first I was excited when I saw it come up, and then I was like, something sounds off.
Yeah, because I have it on PlayStation myself. I don't have the Sega CD.
They changed a lot of stuff, including story elements for the PlayStation version. They changed music, which for me hurt the most. I will still get it because I still support Lunar. I want to see more Lunar. I am a little scared because Victor Ireland is a Grinch, and he would not license the dub, so they had to redub everybody. So it's none of the original voice actors.
Oh. Well, that'll be interesting.
So I'm like, okay.
I know that kind of sucks.
At least still the same singer, but I was like, we'll see.
That song is a bop, though.
I know
Even
that
all these years later, a bop.
I know that kind of sucks, but it's one of those situations where it's like if they didn't do that, it wouldn't be able to come out. So it's like, you have to deal with it to be able to get it.
But I was like, I want more, so I got to show gung ho that I'm gung ho on Lunar.
Wait, what is the one that was put on the PSP?
Silver Star Harmony?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I think that was kind of like either an abridged version of the PlayStation one or kind of a side story.
No, I think it's the full. I think it's the full game. I'll have
to the internet.
So,
I mean, I'm glad it's coming out. I'm kind of curious, like Steven, even if this case, like if they offered as a separate paid DLC to get that music you're missing, would you pay that extra to get it?
I would pay even if the DLC was $50, I'd pay it.
Holy shit! Okay, that's some good music then, I guess.
That theme song's a bop. It's always been a bop.
I need to go in and try it again. Like I said, I got a hold of a copy for PlayStation with the cloth map and everything.
It is identical to Silver Star Story Complete with the exception of an additional short playable prologue.
Oh, nice. Okay. Either way, if I get this, I want to see how the Switch version looks.
I think it'll be fine.
Oh no, it'll run perfectly. Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm not worried about that. Like I said, I'm not worried about how it's going to run with that. This is a more me concerned thing because RPGs are something I keep trying, but it's very hit or miss on which ones I stick with long enough to finish. That's part of like with MEO. I am oddly surprised. I am so invested in this and wanting to finish it, which I'm like, if I start Zelda, I'm never going to go back and finish it. So I'm trying to make myself do it.
Well, maybe because MEO isn't really an RPG in the sense.
Well, I mean, story-based stuff like that is what I'm kind of mean in general, but RPGs they'll have moments where they drag or they go on too long and I lose interest and go on to something else. And it happens all the time with me, but I don't know. I'll have to give it a shot. Next after that, we had Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie pack, which is coming for Sonic X Shadow Generations, which they managed to get Keanu Reeves to come back in voice as Shadow. So
good.
Nice. We're getting free DLC for Shredder's Revenge.
Available now.
Yep. We're getting Mondo Gecko and Mona Lisa, which Mondo Gecko I was happy about. He was one of the toys I used to have. I always loved that character.
And then to piss me off, they brought in the who's who of soundtrack artists, and now I don't have the official complete soundtrack.
Yeah, we're getting a bunch of extra music, which is great. Afterwards, we had Fantasian Neo Dimension coming December 5th, which we are getting a
finally got a
physical
release date.
which I'm looking forward to this one. I like the art style of that. Then we got more Dragon Age Veilguard. They just kind of went into more detail about the gameplay of it. I didn't see
Reminds
a
me of
date.
Mass Effect 2, so I'm pleasantly pleased.
I'm hopeful. I want to give it a shot when it comes out and see how it goes. Afterwards, we had Alan Wake 2 DLC called The Lake House, which is coming this October, which is great. I'm still waiting to get the physical edition of Alan Wake 2 before I can play this, so still waiting on that. And then, hey, Rachel, more VR. Hitman VR.
This was not on the screen for more than a second before I went, it's Hitman. And then they were just like, oh. And I'm just like, it's Hitman. I know that bald head anywhere.
I said the same thing, but I added an S in the beginning.
No. Yeah.
Wow. Well, this December, you can play as Agent 47 and kill people for fun. All right.
Remember those months ago when we were talking about this?
Yeah. Yep. And I kept saying, I really would like this to happen. And then
I went, it'll probably happen, right?
And I'm hopefully nothing terrible is in exchange for me getting this. So Soul Reaver Remastered Collection coming December 10th for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Series XS, Switch, and PC.
I once again maintain that I have the gift of prophecy.
Hey, I said I wanted this too, so I'm partially in there with this.
I'm like 8 for 8 now with these things.
And if
What's
you have
next?
the PlayStation Plus, I think it's Essentials. You can play the original
Legacy of Kain as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for this. I'm definitely going to pick it up. I'm probably going to get it on Switch because I want the portable version of it. But if they're making physical editions, which I believe they're supposed to be doing, I will probably double dip. Let's be honest. I'm going to pick it up on Xbox and on here. I still break up my Dreamcast just to play this game. Damn it! I love it that much.
It's fun.
It's a great game. And they kept the original voice acting, which is so important because some of those people are no longer with us now. And they have such iconic and unique voices for the whole thing. It would feel so wrong not to hear them. You know?
Need to hear Shere Khan again.
Yes.
Tony Ray.
Exactly. So I'm excited for that. That's a must buy for me. And sadly, I think I would have felt better about this whole PlayStation event if that had not blatantly leaked hours before it came out.
That's PSN's fault.
Yeah, they did it to themselves, literally. Next one, this is not so much a big new announcement, but it's kind of a fun addition, I think, that fits well. Lego Fortnite is getting a split screen option. Coming to PS5, Series X and S, and I believe PC can support it as well. I know it's not for everybody, but this feels like the kind of game that would benefit for like siblings or parents playing with their kids and things like that. It makes sense to me. It's a good addition that doesn't hurt anybody, you know? I'm sure somebody complained about it. Like, why would they bother? But those people are assholes. So, yeah.
Why would they bother?
Why does anybody bother when they complain about stuff online? Like, really?
They took out... I sacrificed Halo Infinite split screen for this?
I never understood that one. Yeah, they should have fixed that one. All right. Dynasty Warriors Origins. This one's coming January 17th, 2025 for PS5, Series XS, and PC. It's Dynasty Warriors with a whole bunch of people.
Where's your thumbs up, Chase?
Yeah, I was going to say, Chase, did you want to say anything? It's Dynasty Warriors. I know how much you love that series.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm probably going to... I think the more and more I see of it, the more I'm kind of getting convinced I'll probably give it a shot.
They should make it like Souls-like.
Oh, God, yeah. No. Please, no more Souls-likes.
That's just Wo Long at that point, then.
Dynasty Warriors Wukong.
Yeah.
So, who wants to play Horizon Zero Dawn again?
Not me.
Again.
Third time's the charm, I guess.
I'd rather play Hitman VR.
Jesus.
And Metro VR.
Yeah, together at the same time. One each eye.
Okay, I think I would probably throw up on that one. That would actually get to me. October 31st for PS5 and PC, we are getting Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. It's a $10 upgrade for existing owners, $50 standalone if you get it, and it is getting a physical release, which is kind of neat. The weird thing is, aside from this, they doubled the cost, almost a full price of the PS4 release right as they announced this. So people couldn't go back, buy the old game, and then pay for the update, which I thought was kind of funny. Go ahead, Steven.
Don't forget they pulled a Final Fantasy thing on you too, saying if you own the PS Plus version, you cannot upgrade that one at all.
Yeah, they kind of walked that back. I haven't heard if the PlayStation Plus version has been fixed, but when they did back when COVID started and PS5 first launched, you could get that set of games. Apparently the release of Horizon Zero Dawn from that can get the upgrade. You have to pay for it, but
because I know you weren't allowed to upgrade your Rebirth at all if you got it PS Plus.
Yep, it was kind of a weird one on that. I don't know. I need to give this game another chance. I own both of them, but every time I try and play them, like I got this one, I was like, all right, I'm gonna play it, and then the DLC for Breath of the Wild came out, and I went, never mind, I'm gonna go play on the bike now, and just never went back to it. And I bought the second game, was gonna play it, and then kind of wandered off.
You gotta play the VR game too. You need the whole story.
I'm never playing that VR game unless somebody wants to give me a headset. I'm not doing it. Oh man. Is anyone else even interested in getting Horizon Zero Dawn remastered?
Lego Horizon.
Okay.
I'll get that one because that one has Astrobot DLC where you can play as other characters.
What? Oh, okay. No, you may have sold me on that one.
Well, you can play as Ratchet and Clank and friends from other Sony games. So they're basically copying Astrobot, saying play other IPs in Lego Horizon. And I was like, I am doing that on Nintendo Switch.
You had me at Ratchet and Clank.
Rachel is a Ratchet and Clank fangirl.
Yeah, he forgot to put it on here. He forgot to put it on here because it was a really quick trailer, but they basically did a weird commercial thing where they were talking about Lego Horizon Zero Dawn, and if you pre-order it, you get a roller coaster and an amusement park in Lego Horizon. But then they said you also will get like Ratchet and Clank and what's his name? The yarn kid. Sackboy. You'll get Sackboy as well. All as Legos in the game as well. So they're putting Sony IPs in there. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Oh man.
In my defense, Rachel added the notes for this one. I just went in and added some extra.
That's why I was like, I will definitely get that on Switch so I can be like, look at all these Sony IPs on my Switch.
Are they going to have those on there?
I might get that on Switch too, honestly. So
I kind of wonder if they're going to allow those to carry over or if they're going to keep it PlayStation only for that part.
Yeah, it didn't say anything. It just
didn't say that you didn't.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious now. All right, so Stellarblade is getting some new DLC where they're having a crossover with Nier. So you can see, what is it, B5, I think is her name. Jeremy's gonna just
I don't know.
My sleep after
I have no idea. I don't remember anymore.
2B. Damn it. Yep. My son's gonna disown his father now. But he's in there, and they've added in a new photo mode, which, hey, I'm pretty sure no one's going to use that for weird and pervy uses, are you guys?
That's probably exactly why they're adding it in, Jeremy.
Steven and I were making jokes about that as soon as because they announced the photo mode first. We're like, oh, they're going to be terrible photos of this, and then they show 2B, and we're like, and this is not helping at all. Oh God, people are just going to be the worst photos on Twitter. Speaking of Fear, Fear the Spotlight was up next. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series XS coming out October 22nd. Apparently it's already out on PC. I didn't really see too much on this one, so I wasn't sure if anybody else had any thoughts on it. And then Towers of Axaba.
Axaba? I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. I don't know. I don't remember how it's pronounced. But
it's called Towers of Copy Paste.
All I know is that it's an open world biome building adventure game that's coming to PS5 and Steam in early access in November. And the developers themselves describe the indie title as a mix of Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild, and Ghibli's Nausicaa. And I went,
you could invite others to your town.
And I went, what? Nausicaa? are the
Nintendo's lawyers are like
there?
taking notes. What now?
Yeah. So I don't know. It looked interesting. Um, the name is something, but
Here's of the Tower.
Yeah, I have no idea on that one. And the last game that they announced and showed off was Ghosts of Yotai. Yotai, or I can't remember exactly which way it was. This is a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which is coming in 2025. This was set more than 300 years after the last one. Takes place, I think, 1603. But it's starring Erika Aishi, who is the voice and the face model for the character, which I know most of her stuff from comedy, but she's always been hilarious and fun to watch. So I'm kind of excited to see where she takes this as a more serious role, because it does not look like a comedy. So I don't think it's going to be that. I like the art style. I saw people complaining about that, and I'm kind of glad they're giving it almost a painted feel. Like it, I would rather have a good art style over absolute realism. It's the same reason I like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, because they're not trying to make it real life. It feels like that world is more congruent with that art style.
mm-hmm.
I didn't get to play Ghost of Tsushima, the first one, that much. But I'm interested in trying this one out. It kind of caught my attention with a lot of it. Chase, I know you played Ghost of Tsushima more, a good bit, so you might be able to fill in some gaps on that one or talk about this as well.
I played the first one. I played the first one through twice because they added the DLC, so I did the second playthrough just to do the DLC as well. And then I dumped a lot of time into the Legends mode, which is like their co-op mode that they added later. And no, the game looks great. Like I'll definitely give it a try. The 300 years later, like they have like matchlock guns and stuff now, so I'm curious to see who exactly the invading force is going to be. So I don't know if it's going to be like
it's the British,
say like because what was it, the British, or was it the, can't really remember that part of Japanese history, but
I'm not the most versed in the 1600s history.
Well, I mean, I
wasn't there
history
for that.
buff. Yeah, I wasn't there for that, but I'm well versed in some history. But it's just like, trying to remember exactly who, because yeah. But anyway, point being, art style looks great. I agree with that. I'm curious to see, because I don't know. Like I thought it was a little weird because people are quite invested in Jin's story, and
that's the character from the first game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Jin Sakai is the character from the first game. So, which actually you should go back and play. It's a phenomenal game, and it's
I went and looked to see if I had it on the shelf, and I actually don't. So I'm gonna add that to my list to go find it.
It's absolutely gorgeous game. That's one of those games you put in like to show your friends like how good your PS5 and TV can look.
I think
the game's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I think part of why I didn't. This Ghost of Tsushima was a PS5 or PS4.
Both.
Yeah, it's PS4, but then they did an upgrade for PS5.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna have to watch a playthrough of it, because I watched one of my friends play a little of it like a while ago, and I was like, oh, this is pretty. I would never play this, but I would watch someone play it.
I think part of why I didn't get it, because I agreed it looked great, but I think it kept getting described to me as being like a Samurai Souls-like, and I think that's part of what kind of turned me off on trying it.
Absolutely not.
Okay, I trust
your
word over.
Described to me as too. But
okay, I trust your words over it better than anything, Chase.
So don't get me wrong. Like there's an emphasis on like parrying and stuff like that, but it's not the same at all.
Gotcha.
So I mean, it has your like, these are your unblockable attacks. These are your attacks that then there's your normal attacks that you can parry and dodge and do all that stuff. And it's got all that, but it does not feel like that at all to me. It's the combat's actually quite fluid, and it's actually really well done. How you can change different stances. Different stances work better against different enemies. All that. The world itself, exploring it, like, while it is it's definitely a case of like what Swan has talked about in the past, where it's very open world, not a lot of densely stuff packed into areas. and you are going around and you're killing Mongols. That's pretty much all you're doing. But the world itself is absolutely beautiful. The combat's great. When you're riding your horse through the world, it looks great. And I highly rate it. So I would say anybody that is thinking about Ghost of Yutai, give Ghost of Tsushima a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. The co-op stuff is actually really fun as well. So it's something that maybe we could try later.
I have been debating on just breaking down and buying a year of at least the basic PlayStation Plus so we can add that library to what we've been playing, because we have been playing a lot more multiplayer recently, which I really like, and more systems would just be more games, whatever.
Yeah, I feel it's one of those games which, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they did the horse mechanics better than any Zelda game could.
Really?
All
right.
To where you actually bond with your horse and stuff. And yes, it can't die. It runs away when you battle, so it's always safe.
It's pulling an Optimus Prime's trailer. All right, I'm out of here. Have fun. I'll be back when you need me.
But I just thought that was nice that you can actually build a bond with your horse as well. So
Awesome. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll definitely have to hunt that one down then, because like I said, Ghost of Yutai, I'm really interested in giving it a shot. I liked what I saw, so if this is connected to the other one, maybe that'll
hopefully wait. They might remake it though, so that's good. Remaster it.
But then I gotta wait and see which one do I get the remaster first. Ghost of Yutai, which is probably going to be late 2025, or
Ghost of Mars. Yeah,
that's going to be for the PS6 Pro, which actually is going to launch before the PS6. It's an interesting
with John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars, so that'd be good.
So real fast, we'll go around and give a general letter grade for this state of play. Rachel, we will start with you.
Why do I gotta go first?
Because you weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying. I am paying attention. I'm listening. Thank you very much.
I'm messing with you. I can go to someone else if you need me to. It's fine.
I'll go.
Steven,
I give it a C only because of Lunar. Otherwise, it would have got a D.
Ooh. All right. Chase, what about you?
I'm actually going to give it a C as well, and big reason why is because there's a couple of VR games on there that actually look interesting. I think if you actually are one of the few people that has a PSVR 2, you're probably like, sweet, there's a few titles that actually look quite interesting. So Hitman and Metro for me was good, and then the Ghost of Tsushima sequel is obviously awesome. I think everybody's been waiting for that forever, so that was a good announcement. And also Dynasty Warriors Origins getting the release date was pretty cool to finally know that now.
Nice. I'm probably going to give it a C as well. I did like some of the VR stuff, because all of them except for Hitman was the only one I could not find releasing on something else. So I'm just I can enjoy those games on the hardware I have. I don't need to buy anything new, which is nice. Ghost of Yutai was a surprise for me that I was like, hey, I really want to play this. And then of course, Soul Reaver Remastered. Good Lord. I'd almost give this a B.
I forgot that one too. I'm excited for that one. I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah. I mean, it was not, I think the biggest thing, I would give it higher if they'd actually, right after the whole PS5 announcement, use the state of play to kind of prove why they needed it. And I felt like they didn't. Like there was very little about it. They just kind of acted like, well, whatever, play the game.
The best thing they did is they showed a trailer that didn't show you any reason to get it. That's why it's still available on PS Direct as we speak.
Nice.
The original PS5 Pro.
Oh, good.
But they did show new colors.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that. They showed
the teal.
Yeah, and
I can't chroma thing.
I can't get them. That's what pisses me off. They did the PlayStation 5. They designed it so you could swap out the sides, and they finally came out with a color. I immediately went, I will get this. I will buy it for a PS5. I will buy the controller. I love how it looks. PS5 Slim and Pro only. They're just completely ignoring the old PlayStation 5. You cannot get these colors for it at all. Like, did you guys lose the molds? Did you freaking forget it existed?
No, they didn't want to spend the money on doing it with a
On
version
old
of the PlayStation
discontinued
that
hardware.
they
Yeah.
don't have in
Come on.
production anymore, technically.
It's old discontinued hardware,
It's
Jeremy.
injection molded covers, whatever. All right, Rachel, what was your letter grade for this?
I'm also giving it a C because normally with PlayStation State of Plays, there's like a really big announcement, right?
Uh-huh.
For me, I have come to associate at least one State of Play a year. There'll be something Final Fantasy, there'll be something Kingdom Hearts, there'll be something from games that I really play, like big games. For me, didn't get that with that, so I'm giving it a solid C. Yeah, Lunar was a really good surprise, and I did not see that coming. Yes, I liked the Astrobot DLC announcement because I love Astrobot. I don't really care about VR. Cool, more Sonic stuff. I am getting Sonic X Shadow Generations. Am I getting it for the Switch? Yes. But cool, we're getting that. I like that we got a release date of Fantasia Neo Dimension because I've been waiting for that. Am I getting it for PlayStation? Probably not. And Soul Reaver Remastered. Did Jeremy and I speak that into existence a few months ago? Yes, we did. We have the gift of prophecy. Learned something new about Lego Horizon Zero Dawn. Cool. But everything else, I'm just like, okay, whatever. So, like, nothing that had me just like, oh my God, yes, So, C. Very solid C. If it had one more really good announcement, it would have gotten like a B-, but at least you passed, Sony. At least you passed, because C's get degrees.
I almost want to knock it back down a little bit lower just because I'm still so pissed about those covers. I was like, I'm finally happy and wanting to get one of these. Not available for your system. What the fuck, Sony? I bought your damn system.
Listen.
They still sell them actively. They're still making them for the other colors. So why can't they make this one for it? That's the one I wanted.
They really didn't want to because they really don't want people to buy the one that has the disc drive included. They want people to buy the other one that doesn't, so then they'll spend more money and get a disc drive. That's what they'll do. What they want, Jeremy. That's what they want. This was Sony wants. We've got a soundbite for why, and here we are. So, but it is what it is. I will say, having fancy colors of systems, it's a lot more fun when the system is portable. Like,
that's true.
If I could get
where
myself
my PS5 is, if it had that awesome green on there, because I love iridescent green, and then a controller to match it, I was like, I'm gonna do it.
It reminds me of the green on the iridescent like scarab beetles. That's why
it's like some versions of the 3DSs. I remember they came out with kind of an iridescent colors back in the day. Like those were great.
I would kill for a translucent purple Switch. I would literally.
I tried making one. Did not go well.
It other people have tried as well. It does not go well.
It was mostly because the Switch I was working with was already kind of broken. So, anyways, all right, moving on to our next show. So Tokyo Game Show had a couple sets of announcements. We're going to start off with the Xbox, which was the first one to run through. This one actually had a couple surprises that I was a little interested in. We got another look at Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta with an updated trailer. Still no release date. Still looking really good, though. Like, no matter what you're playing this on, this game is looking like a really good remake.
Please note that a lot of these things for those listening, that a lot of these things that the Xbox showcase are not just coming to Xbox. And
correct.
We'll note if they are coming to others.
The next thing they showed was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is actually showing that it's going to be fully voiced and subtitled in Japanese, which was an interesting... this is a Tokyo Game Show. It's going to be focused on that, but that's a cool announcement. And it was very kind of weird to hear Indiana Jones speaking in Japanese. I was like, I get it. Does not feel right just because I'm so used to hearing Harrison Ford my whole life. Like, I get it, but we'll go from there. But that's coming out December 9th. This next game I was really kind of curious about, and I want to see what it's about, but it's called Tanuki Pond Summer.
It looks so cute.
Adorable, but you're playing as a tanuki doing deliveries.
On a BMX bike, and every time when I watched, I pulled it up because I was like, when I read the description in the notes, and I brought up the video, right? And literally there was a little voice in my brain that every time he would go over a jump or he would like grind on a rail or something, my brain, little tiny voice in my brain whispered, parkour.
One of you noted it's also coming to Switch, so that's
Yes.
cool. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I couldn't find anything on it earlier.
Most of the major console. I googled it, and there was literally the top article said developer confirms that it's also coming to Switch, and I think Steam. So
I would almost expect it should be coming to PlayStation as well. It's almost a safe bet.
It would make sense.
Yeah,
but I will play the hell out of that on Switch because it looks like a good game to play on Switch. It just looks fun.
Look, at this point, any game announced for a Switch version, I'm just assuming will be Switch 2. I'm just going to go with that. It's going to be Switch 2.
Depends on how late in 2025 it's coming out for me.
Yep.
I'm still holding out hope that it's going to be backwards compatible with some kind of enhancement. So that'll be what I get.
Listen, if
I'm crossing my fingers here.
If they're saying it's coming to Switch, it's probably going to come to both versions of the Switch, whatever the new version of the Switch is.
True. Yeah. Next up, this one, I wasn't sure what was going on when I first saw it. I was like, is this a Chrono Trigger? What's going on? Threads of Time. Looks like you have at least 8 different times to explore in this RPG. And it uses the 2D HD style, but it isn't a Square Enix game.
I can hear Jeremy. I can hear Joey screaming in the distance. Every time we mention HD 2D or 2D HD, a little bit of his soul dies. It's like he senses it.
Yeah, he's not a fan of that, even though I love the art style.
I do too. I think it's great.
When used correctly, it's beautiful, and I'm so happy to see so many games.
The only way I'll accept a remake of Final Fantasy VI.
Oh.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I do not want them to make them realistic at all. I want them to stay 2D HD.
How was the Pixel Remaster version?
What?
The Pixel Remaster of 6. How was that one?
It's good. It's the mobile games.
Oh, gotcha.
With quality of life improvements, it's not like 2D HD though.
Right.
Where it looks like dioramas everywhere.
Wanted to make sure. Okay. I might try this one. I kind of like the ones that give you different time periods, and I wonder if they connect, like how they connect. So that'll be a cool one. Next game we had was We Heart Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie, which this is available now. This was out on all the other systems. It's just, hey, it's finally coming out on Xbox.
It's on sale on the Switch eShop, as I discovered. So if you want it. And Threads of Time is coming to Switch as well.
Nice. Yeah. Katamari Damacy, I already have these on Switch and the original releases for PS2 and then some of the stuff for 360, and I just love the Katamari series. I can
still hear the music of Katamari Damacy in my brain.
Yeah. Amanda hates it. I'll start humming it and she's like, stop it.
See, I love it.
I guess I played it too much.
I remember getting together with my group of friends after like church and stuff when I was in like high school. And we'd go over to my friend Jason's house and we'd usually go out to dinner, and then we'd go over to his house and we'd play either board game, card games, whatever after. And one of the games we always played was Katamari Damacy on his PS2. So
Lord. Next game was Metaphor Re Fantasio, coming October 11th. There's a prologue demo available now, which carries over to the full game. And it's probably part of why Chris hasn't been here in a while. It's not that he has anything else to do. This is more important than all of us.
We don't matter.
We don't. Not to Metaphor.
He just needs his Persona stuff.
From what I've heard from him, though, it seems like he's really enjoying it. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, he's also playing Blooming Grounds, which is Stranger Things meets Persona. It's a pixel art RPG that came out too for Switch and PlayStation.
Wow. Okay.
Wait. Now I'm gonna look this up.
While you're looking up, we'll continue here. Altair Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land, which is a hell of a name. She's just straight up pulling out her Switch right now, looking it up.
I'm looking it
She didn't
up.
even turn the sound down. We're just going to hear all the
Available
music.
now, Blooming Ground.
Oh my God. They went into heavy detail on the systems and the design of the game, which does look kind of interesting. It's very anime-ish, but that's kind of the basis of it. They went into explaining like home building, base building being added into it. And I didn't realize this is the first Atelier game on Xbox. Atelier. Sorry. My bad. Atelier.
It's okay. I once pronounced it wrong too. And all of my fellow coworkers at GameStop shamed me for 5 minutes. Thank you, Atelier at Esther and Logie.
Looks like
Thank you.
Atelier, but okay, Atelier. I'll try to remember that.
Atelier.
I don't know. It's words.
The Bloomtown game is on Switch. Yes, and it's on sale.
Sorry. Yeah, Bloomtown. I don't know why I said Blooming Ground. Bloomtown. Yeah, it's Stranger Things meets Persona.
It looks really good.
Rachel spending money in real time on the show.
You shut up. I like games.
It's fine. Next one we had was we thought we messed up the last pronunciation. Asurajang Rumble. Asurajang. I don't know.
Are you sure it's not Gochujang? Ashwagandha?
It starts with an AS. It better not be starting with a G sound. Okay.
Listen. I'm gonna keep bringing up names that sound similar.
Achtung Rumble.
There we go.
Wow. Third-person anime battle royale game with shrinking boundaries as the ground gives away. I don't know how long this is going to survive. Seems like it's mainly a multiplayer title, so we'll see how that goes.
It'll survive longer than Concord.
Probably. Anything will survive longer than Concord.
Yes. The McRib lasts longer than Concord.
I think COVID lasts longer than Concord.
The dog's like, I want love now. It's a support dog. He only shows up whenever he's trying to stop you from spending money.
No.
That's why the dog's there all the time. She's just like, Switch is right here. Buy it.
No. She just wanted to support things being longer than Concord.
Oh wow.
She also says
now into more depressing news.
Yep. Synduality Echo of Ada coming January 24th, 2025. It's a mech combat game with AI Magus companions.
What the hell does that mean?
It's just like AI companions for people, but
I
really like the art style and how it looks, but I don't know if it's multiplayer only. Like, does it have a story mode? I have no idea. They were very unclear about it. And then for fun, because we all love pets, Fallout 76 is getting dogs and cats that you don't eat.
Why would you subject the animals to radiation like that? People of Fallout.
I mean, at least they're being taken care of and still alive. Everyone's kind of being irradiated. It's kind of a.
This is true.
Yeah.
I remember, Jeremy, I tried to play that game and I went, no.
We barely started it.
I know. Immediately dislike. Hey, it was
it's
free.
a weird one. Yeah.
Well, just to let you know, Snatcher has dogs that can speak different languages and cats that have a built-in purse in their bodies, but they're still living cats. So
that was
just
such a weird thing to find too.
And this is for what console?
Sega CD.
It's for emulation on PC. I can send you all the stuff. I have it all.
I'll see how it plays on my little tiny baby console. So.
It shouldn't be that difficult to play on there. It's not like a super power hungry thing. Another one that Joey probably was super happy about is Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune and Dunan Unification Wars. It's a hell of a title. Coming out March 6th, 2025. This was previously announced, I think, on a Nintendo Direct.
Jeremy's going to be angry at you again. Suikoden.
I have heard Suikoden, and I got told that so many times.
Suikoden sounds like what you take when you have a headache.
I always called it Suikoden.
Yeah.
I always called it Suikoden. And someone was like, no, it's Suikoden. And I went,
Suikoden is like a vaccine.
Listen. I'm just going to say that this is every time someone does a different pronunciation for a word, when it comes to these kind of words, it's a dialect thing. That's the answer.
Karateka.
I'm just gonna pay Joey to record RPG names, which is voice files, so I can just play them back when I need to talk about it.
I'm still not over Karateka, so
Karateka. Even they couldn't agree on how it was pronounced in the
I was
damn
like,
game.
I always call it Karateka.
So Suikoden, I know those are the games with like you can get like 100 people.
108 different
Yeah.
companions, so
That's a lot.
you can definitely pick who you really want to be on your team.
Good lord. But yeah, I mean,
Every
this is getting a
playthrough is
remaster.
different, and no one's going to judge you for missing out on certain characters. And if they do, they're silly.
That's why the successor is the Ayuden 100 Heroes.
Oh, okay.
Which I have on my Switch, and I have not played yet because
Neither have I.
So
I'm busy.
this next
too.
game,
everything.
I think we should all get somehow and play it because it just seems so ridiculous and funny. All you need is help.
I didn't even look at a trailer for this because I saw the logo, and as a graphic designer, it made me go, huh?
You have to see the game.
What, you mean like skin Tetris? That's what it looks like.
So coming out to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series XS, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Explain the game, Jeremy.
Chase and I already have it.
Oh, because you have Game Pass.
Yeah.
Is it cross-play?
I don't know. I'm still looking into that.
Okay.
We all have
Find out
Switch.
I haven't discertained exactly how it plays, but it looks like skin Tetris.
Well,
like
basically
you play Tetris together with skin. I don't know.
Each person takes control of one of these creatures that's in a different shape, and you either have to recreate patterns with them or use their body shape to solve the puzzles and move things around the levels. I'm trying to remember, there was a game on Switch when it first launched that was kind of
Snipper clips.
Yes, that was kind of that same idea where you would change your shape in that one, but you would use that to then get through the puzzles. Makes me think of that. So I don't know. I want to look more into this. I'm very curious if it is crossplay though. If anyone finds that out, let us know. So next up, this is the game that caught the most attention for me that I really want to try. It's called Slitterhead. Weird ass name. Yes, Rachel, that face is probably the same one I made.
So I don't know. I didn't look up anything on it, but my brain just associated it with Chainsaw Man, which is nothing like it, I'm sure.
No, I need to watch that. I've been told I should. This is coming out PS4, PS5, Series XS, and PC. Basically, creatures start appearing in this like Japanese city they made up for it that are hunting humans. And there's this dude in a motorcycle helmet that's trying to kill them and fight them. But at any time, you can possess people around you. It's like the little yellow light will jump from person to person, and you can be leaping around with them and making weapons, and you're hopping around people. But it looks so intriguing to me.
This is real Japanese horror here.
Yes. And I'm like, I really want to try it because it looks so cool.
I will watch someone play this.
You can watch me play
I will not play it myself because it would stress me out. Me, the spooky lady, it would stress out. I don't know.
The idea behind it seemed different enough that I'm like, I'm intrigued. I want to try it out.
All you need is help is cross-platform.
Yes. Perfect. See, any multiplayer game nowadays should be that. Honestly, it makes no sense not to be half the time. So, yeah. So Slitterhead is the weird one that I really, really want to give it a shot. Next, we had the Starbites, which made no damn sense. It seems like it's a turn-based RPG with explorable overworld areas with mech suits. I don't know. PS4, PS5, Series XS, and PC. So we'll see how that goes. Or I'm sorry, PS5, Series XS, and PC. I read the Slitterhead one again.
Okay, I have some information on it if you want to know more.
What, for Starbites?
Yes.
What you got?
Okay, so the name of the planet is Bitter, the planet that has become desertified from the impact of a space war. And the fate of a girl who is making a living in search of machinery, debris, and treasures lying on the desert as traces of war begins to change completely after finding something called the Oracle. So very RPG here. So you explore secrets hidden under the planet and build companionship with various characters to achieve new information. It's a storytelling RPG where you collect materials from the field to strengthen the mechs and move forward, growing up with your allies in your adventure. So it's got an overworld, kind of town thing. And then, of course, you explore the desert planet and find new areas and that kind of thing. It's turn-based battles, writing on they call them mecha with a K, Meka.
Of course.
And yeah, that's just from reading the Steam description, and the planned release date is sometime this year.
Oh, so Steven, do you like that any better if it's spelled mecha with a K, maybe?
Nope. You can spell it shit or shite. It's still shit.
Why do you think it's shit?
He hates
Mecha.
mechs. He hates mechs. I love them. It's great.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Back and forth.
Oh, and sorry, All You Need Is Help is made by the same guys who helped make Star Fox 1 and 2.
Oh.
Argonauts. Probably not. All right. Last thing is Square Enix showed up and launched a bunch of stuff on Xbox. Trials of Mana, Legend of Mana, and the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters are all available now digitally on the Xbox.
I'm happy that more people can play those now.
Yep. They haven't confirmed yet if there's physical copies coming out, but I mean, at least they're there. So that's great.
Except for Legend of Mana. You can go to hell, Legend of Mana. But anyway.
Good God, is it that bad?
Legend of Mana and Sword of Mana are trash to me. Especially that GBA Sword of Mana. Oh
shit, I think I suggested that one to Rachel. I was like, it felt like it might be up her list to try it.
I already have it.
Oh.
It is not bad if you play by yourself, but the co-op is the worst put together co-op in the history of Mana.
I already have it. And I have the Mana DS game too.
Nice. All right, so real quick for the Xbox stuff, we'll just to be fair, we'll give it a letter grade real quick. Stephen, we'll start with you.
I'll give it a B because I'd be playing all those games on other systems.
Rachel, what about you?
We're going to repeat what Steven said because that is my same answer there were some really cool announcements here. And all of the stuff I want to play is also coming to other systems. So good job, game developers. Microsoft, I don't care.
But they'll save me some money because some of that's Game Pass. So all you need is help. I can try it out on Game Pass.
There you go. Chase, What about you?
D for disappointing.
Really? Yeah, you were quiet this entire time.
There was literally nothing on this thing that even interests me.
We have different gaming tastes.
That's fine. I have nothing wrong with that.
Other than All You Need Is Help, which I was like, yep, this is something that everybody's gonna have a lot of laughs at. I was like, I'm all for it.
I'm gonna look that up as soon as we're done.
Everything else, I was just like, this looks like complete garbage. I'm just don't give a shit about.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I might try some of the like the Pixel remasters and some other stuff, but I don't know, just nothing really like piqued my interest. I'm like, oh man, I'm so excited for this.
I think
I'm just an RPG person. What can I say?
Yeah,
that's all I play.
For me, to be fair,
I'd
say probably like a strong C. There's a couple games I was really interested in. There's a bunch that I'm just kind of like, it's not really my thing. But it was at least nice to show more of the games. But kind of both Microsoft and Sony were just kind of meh for me for most of their stuff. So, all right. So on to our next little bit here. Quick little section here of Capcom news because this was just weird. So Monster Hunter Wilds has been shown off, given the release date of February 28th, 2025. So we will be there playing the living hell out of that. At least I know Chase and I will. Steven, I don't know how into Monster Hunter you are.
Do you know what's coming out in February?
Monster Hunter?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. And then there is some ridiculous Monster Hunter crossover merch that I just thought was hilarious. Fender, the guitar people, are releasing not one, but 2 versions of a Fender Rathalos Telecaster guitar. There's a limited edition version, which is available only at the Fender flagship Tokyo store or on their official Fender website. And that limited edition comes with a Monster Hunter designed box, themed case, a set of guitar picks based on the Monster Hunter iconography, and an extra slash design on the front of the guitar itself. So for some reason, it's getting a guitar. It's not even tied to a music game. I don't know. And this one, I was still kind of confused by. Transformers in Monster Hunter. Rathalos Prime is coming out. It's made to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Monster Hunter and the 40th anniversary of Transformers. Pre-orders opened yesterday. It's probably gone in a lot of places. Those usually go fairly quick. I'll have to see if I can get like a third-party one. I think you sent me one, Steven.
It's not third party. It's legit.
Well, when I have to go through Amazon like that, I'll have to see what it is, because those tend to get canceled by them. They're very weird. But yeah, I just did not see. It's like, okay, I get why you're doing Transformers, but why has it got to be Prime every time? Like, Megatron was a dragon at one time. Use that. Like,
because Prime is the most well-known globally, and therefore the most sellable.
Oh, Megatron's up there. Believe me, people know about Megatron.
Oh, I know. I know that.
You even said the slogan yourself. It's time for Prime. So I was like, okay.
This is. I'll say more later.
All right, so that was all of it for Capcom. I'm not even gonna bother letter. We're just reading that for fun. All right, last part of the TGS stuff was Level 5 had a couple of announcements.
Yay!
I didn't get to see all of these. You guys added them.
I did.
Rachel, do you want to go ahead and talk about some of these then?
Yes, because I love Level 5. We saw.
So do I.
We saw kind of honestly a gameplay trailer for Professor Layton and the World of Steam, which we have not seen any of that in years. It's all of it's in Japanese right now. All of Level 5 stuff when they show it off at TGS, until it is like almost ready to release, they don't show anything in English. This is just how they've been for years. But the release date for it is 2025 on Switch. It takes place after the last game that occurs canonically in the Layton timeline, which I believe is Unwound Future, if memory serves.
I think so.
Because that's when Luke gets on the boat to go to America. So this game takes place in America several years later when Luke is like, "Hey, Professor, I need help." And Layton's like, "Say no more," and goes over there. It looks wild. It looks actually like really good. And I'm excited for it. I love a good Layton game. I think the puzzles are actually not made by Level 5. They've kind of sourced it out to somebody else, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, you'll have to watch the trailer. At least that's what the trailer led me to believe, because they name like somebody else is like over blah 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 puzzles designed by blah blah blah, and I'm like,
oh,
okay. But it looks good. They they showed a lot of different things, and there is like 3 or 4 of the things out of the 5 that they brought with them to TGS had playable demos, I guess, or stuff that you could actually experience and play, except for Deca Police. That's another thing that they've been working on for years, which looks really cool. It's scheduled for release in 2026. It's like, it's you play a detective. It's mystery stuff, my thing. And they've been talking about it for years at TGS. I think it showed up at E3 one year. And now it's coming out in
E3. What's that?
I know, it's not even here around anymore. See how long that they've been talking about this?
Summer Games Fest.
Yes.
Oh,
so it's coming to PC as well, in addition to Switch, and I think it's also coming to the other consoles too.
nice.
but they just showed like more video stuff on it, and then there was the theme song trailer, and the theme song, of course, slaps. Um, and then they also, there was another thing that they announced too, but I don't remember what it was. I think it's Inazuma 11 game.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. And then Holy Horror Mansion, which is a Ghostcraft RPG, which makes me
Or spiritual, no pun intended.
yeah.
Successor to Yokai Watch.
It has a lot of yokai vibes. It's like got some Luigi's Mansion vibes. They didn't really show much gameplay. They just showed a bunch of like concept stuff, but it's a cross media project, which means they're getting other people involved. I'm like entertainment companies over there in Japan. Like the Pineapple Pin guy was in it, and I was like, whoa, oh my god, that's like from like way out in left field, but also not really, because he's kind of an icon over there.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's huge. When I don't know, I don't know who all knows about him here still in the States, but one of his videos went viral over here, even like
Right.
Amazing.
nuts. Many years ago, though. But the theme for it is family, so the whole family can enjoy this. So it makes me think there's also a multiplayer aspect. There's no release window or consoles announced for it. And the trailer literally said, coming soon, but maybe not that soon. So just wait a little, okay? Like, that's literally what it said in the subtitles. And I was
Okay.
like, oh boy. But they are holding a cross-media showcase in spring of next year in order to reveal related merchandise and media plans for this game. So they might include some of their other game releases on that cross-media project.
It's not just a game, it's a brand experience.
Like, listen, at least they're working on things, because the only thing that I know of that Level 5 has still like running is their, because I think it was Level 5 technically, the Ni no Kuni MMO thing that was on tablets. Yeah, and that's still going strong. A lot of people playing. It's pretty. Didn't play it for long because it's not my jam. But yeah, that was Level 5 stuff.
Nice.
Layton was the coolest thing for me. I wish they'd shown more stuff for Deca Police. Holy Horror Mansion was just weird, but it looks like my vibe. So
I'll have to watch more of these because I didn't see any of this part.
No, I didn't until like 20 minutes before we started recording.
Ah, gotcha.
I was like, I knew about Layton because the trailer was sent to me by like no less than 10 people that I know. And then I remembered that, oh yeah, if they showed this trailer, maybe they showed other things. So I just looked it up and I was like, holy crap. So good job, Level 5. I had the gift of prophecy on this one because I was like, if Level 5 is going to show up anywhere, and I think I said this to one of you guys, it's going to be TGS. And here they are, showing up at TGS.
Nice. All right, so on to our next little bit of news then. Leaving TGS, I believe. A couple announcements, but somewhat tied in. Wrong. Yeah, ignore that. So SNK has... it's been a long day. I'm tired. SNK has announced that Street Fighter 6's Ken and Chun-Li will be upcoming characters in the new Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. So it's kind of nice to see SNK and Capcom kind of throwing characters back and forth, because we've got SNK ones like Terry showing up in Street Fighter 6 and vice versa. So,
and it's actually canon. They crafted a story to make it make sense too.
Nice. I mean, it's kind of funny. SNK and Street Fighter, for as long as I remember both of those games being out, because I remember when Fatal Fury first came out, or King of Fighters was playing some of those as well, along with Street Fighter. And there was an arcade across from our high school that had them, and we would run over across the street during lunch to play those and then run back, when we were done. So, yeah, looking forward to getting those. I've always enjoyed some good fighting games. All right. How about another lawsuit to talk about? This one's kind of interesting how it's going to go, and the reactions people have had have been very telling. So Stellarblade is being sued by the film production company Stellarblade over the name of the game, ruining the ability for people to find their company online. Now, the problem with this is the company has existed since 2006. They've had to run the website and everything, but they did not have the copyright on it, apparently. And Stellarblade, along with the people that made it, I guess, filed for that, even though the company had existed, they had the website and everything, and said the name was theirs. But the issue is the production company, nobody can find them anymore, because if you look for Stellarblade in any form, all you see is the game.
Well, guess what? They messed it up themselves by not getting the copyright on their own name for their own business.
I'm curious to see how that goes.
Any lawyer is going to tell them that too. Didn't matter how long you've been around. If you do not copyright your name, your entity, what do you think's going to happen? Sorry, I don't have too much sympathy for them. But
yeah, I'm curious to see how it goes, and if there are other aspects of this. I don't know. I'm not a legal expert on it.
So
I agree they may have kind of screwed themselves up on that.
So here's another funny thing too.
Yes.
This reminds me, there's a band that I listen to that I've listened to for years, over in Japan. They're called Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
But their name in the States when they release music is Versailles Philharmonic Quintet, because there is an American band
called Versailles
that is named Versailles.
Yep.
So when they release things in the States, they use that name, or when they do things that they never do things in the States anymore. But when they release music over here, they would use their secondary name because of that. So maybe the people who made the Stellarblade game looked it up and just didn't care because they didn't have a copyright on it. But this just goes to show you, if you're an entity and you like your name, copyright it.
Because I'm curious, like the legal aspect of that, because if they've been around, obviously they're going to have business licenses. All this stuff has to be put in for that to be around for almost 20 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I don't know the legal aspect of it. You're probably right on that, and I'm very curious how this is going to turn out.
I don't know that copywriting your name is a requirement of having a business.
Right.
You can't use Monster. We own it, and you drink it.
So it's one of those things that also, too, I want you to note that there is a space between two words, and then there's not a space between the production company. So that's also a bit of a legal gray area, too. So I'm just saying, I know it might sound mean coming from me, but any lawyer will tell them, you should have copyrighted your name, bruh.
Like I said, I'm curious to find out what other legal grounds are going to have on this. It's just going to be a weird one. But I wanted to at least mention it because I was like, really? All right. For our last little bit of news today. So since we talked about it so much last week and previously, the PS5 Pro and PS5 Pro 30th anniversary editions went on sale this week.
Sweet, let's go get them.
And at least the 30th anniversary editions immediately sold out, and everyone's like, "See, they're willing to pay well over $1,000 for these. Everybody just had to have them." Shocking no one, except for those that want them to believe that all normal people bought these. Almost all of them are already showing on eBay for like upwards of $5,000 or more. It's ridiculous how much money they're going for.
I once bought the last special edition that had like the white PS4, I think it was. Mm-hmm. I sold it for $2,000 to somebody in Switzerland because there was only a certain amount of units worldwide.
Holy crap.
So it was a good day.
Yeah, so it's kind of a back and forth on this. The PS5 Pro, I believe, Steven, you said is still available. You can order it on Sony's website right now.
There's plenty in stock.
So
nobody wants it.
Yeah, and that's the back and forth. They're like, well, the PS5, the 30th anniversary sold out so quick. That's proof that everybody wanted it. No, the scalpers wanted it. The actual PS5 Pro, still there. No one's buying them, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's a lot of money. And
I got my controller from Walmart, so I'm happy. I'm set.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to get the controller, but at this point, because our trip's coming up and everything, I was like, I'm just going to wait. I know I won't get them, but I'm putting the money on the trip. But I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch the rest of this year to see how the PS5 Pro fares sales-wise. If Sony will say those
it's going to be
numbers.
just like the PS4 Pro. It's just going to be 10% of sales, and that's it.
And I still feel the PS4 Pro made more sense at the time. It was kind of, they had a hell of a great library already, and they were supporting 4K, a new media that people were adopting more readily. Same thing with the One X. For this, everyone's like, so how many of you guys have an 8K TV for the couple of games that are going to support it natively, apparently, or whatever? Or what was it you told me about earlier, Steven? I guess Alan Wake 2 with all the graphical features is still going to run at 30 FPS.
That's what one outlet reported. They're
Yeah.
like, it's still not going to run what you'd like it to do.
And I'd like to point out again, no matter how much power a developer gets and the hardware they have, there are going to be those that are going to take that power, take the 30 FPS, and push the graphics or the physics that much further.
Well,
every time,
and
no one's going to do it.
And Chase borrowed some of Rachel's mojo and basically prophesized what Digital Foundry and everybody else said, that it's all about the CPU that needs to be bigger, not all this other stuff, because they even said if you're looking for 60 frames per second, Digital Foundry, the guys who always overanalyze all the frame rates, were like, you're not going to get 60 frames per second consistently on PS5 Pro. Buy a PC for the price.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen. They needed to have made that CPU better.
I'm happy to loan out my gift of prophecy anytime. It's dangerous. I use it all the time at work, and it is bemoaned.
You would think you would see that coming, Rachel.
No. Nope. Never. Sometimes it's useful. Most of the time it's like, why would you predict that? Now it's going to happen. And I'm like, well, what can you do?
Oh, God. All right, so let's move into the big question so we can wrap up the show tonight. So the big question for tonight, Stephen, I believe you wrote this one up because I had asked one of you guys to do this for me. What is a video game and licensed IP crossover that you would like to see happen one day? Bonus points if it is possible. So, Stephen, we will start with you.
So I'm going to give you one that's real, that's going to make you search for a ROM first. And then I'm going to give you one that I'd like to see happen. The first one, speaking of level 5, I highly suggest, especially if you're still playing your 3DS, Jeremy, you look for Yokai Blasters on 3DS. I'm going to send you a link, but basically it is a love letter to Ghostbusters. Everything from forming a 4-man team to the costumes you can wear are basically Ghostbusters outfits, to the fact that you have a firehouse headquarters.
Holy crap.
So
I remember when this came out.
They had to change the name to, please don't look up the price of the physical. You know, there's 2 versions like Pokemon, but they had to change the name when it came out in the US from Busters, because they would have gotten in trouble, to Blasters, because they even kind of copied the Ghostbusters logo by putting a yokai with a no through it. So that one would have benefited if they actually had like the license even more.
There is a second one that came out in Japan.
Yeah. This was the last one we got, and is now the price of a PS5 Pro, so it's like,
holy crap.
So it's getting there. I think some of them may be lower, but for me, and I'm hoping this is possible because I don't know who owns the license, and I'm sure Chase would even agree with me, but I would like to see a stealth game like Splinter Cell do some kind of crossover with Mission Impossible, where either you have to track him down or you have to basically like either do one of his missions. I just think the all the nuances and touches they would put in a Splinter Cell game in a Mission Impossible world just meld so nicely together that I'd love to see that happen.
Bonus points if they included the optional N64 physical models of the people from.
I beat that game like 4 times. I loved that game no matter what people said. It was so
good.
Because I was just like, man. But then when I played Splinter Cell, I was just like, can you imagine if these two came together? Because we get a lot of weird crossovers with Call of Duty Warzone and Fortnite and such.
Yeah.
Fortnite just got the Incredibles and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. But there comes a time once in a while that you just have two licenses that just work so well together. And I feel that would be one.
Okay. So I'm going to go next. And ironically, mine was also going to include Ghostbusters, which I kind of assumed that would happen. I would love to see a Ghostbusters and Fatal Frame where you are using the PK meter and the goggles instead of the camera to try and hunt them down in that same way, being able to then try and trap them anyways. It would almost be like running through the library in the beginning of Ghostbusters when they didn't have the packs and stuff. Maybe try and do that.
Would that be like that scene I keep seeing from Supernatural Scooby-Doo where they all become self-aware and they're like, we could have been hunting real monsters? And Maggie's like, I've been telling you the whole time.
That is the best episode, by the way, of Supernatural for people to watch who have never watched Supernatural and want to watch Supernatural. And I just go, watch this episode because this is the kind of zany crap you have to look forward to. And it is the best crossover episode in existence, in my opinion.
So hands down, if I ever want Rachel to immediately stop talking to us, I will schedule a Supernatural extra quarter and not invite her. Immediately she'll be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. We're done.
We'll get anything wrong. We'll mispronounce their names and we'll get the episodes out of order.
Rachel, you know,
I don't even go that deep into it.
I would immediately call you first. You know that.
I hope so. That is something that we never got that I think we would have got if the TV show had come out, started a little later, is a proper game, because I think it would have been...
You know what would have been just kind of a weird one is if we did have a Supernatural and Monster Hunter crossover.
I think we're still getting a game. It's just going to be more like what's that game? Deadly Premonition.
Right. So we are, and it's made by one guy, and I think he's Polish.
Okay.
And it's not even an official
That
game.
doesn't even make it worse. It's just
not even an official game. He's just doing it himself, self-published. Not even I don't know. I don't have any other information.
That was just random. It's made by one guy, and he's Czechoslovakian, and he likes baked cakes in free time.
And I say that he's in Poland because I think he's just it. I say that there's some nuances, okay?
Rachel, you need to able to get out of that hole there.
No, it's one of those things it's like a rural thing. It's very he's very far away, if that makes sense. So. It's just one guy. He's one man team.
I'm just going to interject real quick to tell you it already ended in the beginning of August, Jeremy. But World of Warships had a crossover with Star Trek where they put the Enterprise on the warships.
What the I don't even play that game. But
you can look it up, and they even got Patrick Stewart to record lines for when you're piloting the Enterprise warship, and I was just
probably thought that was really funny. Actually,
he probably did. But I have to say, if they did do a Supernatural and Monster Hunter crossover, would you finally play Monster Hunter, Rachel?
Probably not, because I don't think it would make sense.
Phoenix Wright cross Supernatural. There you go.
Oh Lord! All right, Chase. What about you?
I don't know. I'm not really too deep into crossovers. I think I would love to see, I know it's probably not exactly the same, but I'd love to see maybe like a Warhammer 40k game in the same style and vein as Helldivers. I think that would work really well together. Where you had a map of a galaxy map of the Imperium, and then you've already got Helldivers is kind of the Warhammer 40k game that we never knew we wanted anyway, because you've got the bugs, which would be the Tyranids, you've got the Illuminate, which would be the Eldar, and so many of the factions actually would just fit perfectly. So it's really...
Yeah, they're even calling Space Marine 2 War Divers right now.
Yeah, how fun would it be to just drop as one of those guys in Helldivers and be like, well, it's not that difficult now.
Yeah, it would be pretty... I think that would be actually a really good I guess you could call it kind of a crossover, but like, yeah,
That
I'd
would
like
be a
to
I
good
think
see
one.
Chase
something in that
wants a
same vein.
Gloomhaven Team Buddies crossover.
Man, Team Buddies, that'll be forever be my white whale.
I'm still trying to find a copy after you told me about it. All right, Rachel, what about you? What crossover would you want to do?
So I don't know if it's possible anymore, but I would have loved to have seen a crossover between Bayonetta
Mm-hmm.
and Devil May Cry.
That would have been a good one. It feels like we almost got there.
It was like two ships passing in the night kind of deal. Like same vibes, same type of humor, same like very similar gameplay stuff. Like all the signs were there. Like there should have been a crossover. There should have been one.
At least a
but-
mention of each other.
Or something. Maybe they dated each other. I don't know.
Probably more like one night stand. knowing
One night
Dante.
stand. It was one of those friends with benefits associate like situation over time. But like I think it would have like the gameplay lends really well to each other. But I feel like a complete like really good crossover would have been good. The other thing I thought of would have been Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, a proper crossover with that.
I was gonna say they've crossed over quite a lot. They've
Like-
just never like
Like-
even the because even the MMO has done Dragon Quest stuff.
Yes, but not like a
Yeah,
full
Eldrick and protagonist have never met each other.
yeah
Get
Or the
dropped in
heroes
each
of
other's
light, I
world
should
and
say.
going, crystals, what the fuck is this?
yeah. Like I feel like, you know, sometimes weird crossovers happen. Like for me, I
Mhm.
thought Hyrule Warriors, that's a great game, but weird as hell for me. That I was like, if all the things to cross over with each other, that
Well,
okay.
yeah, for me it's like Mario Hoops 3-on-3. You can play as the white mage from Final Fantasy. I'm like, why?
Why?
Yeah, that was a very weird one.
but you know, to me, I just that is my big what if. Like it was so close, and I wonder why it didn't happen. Like who in what boardroom messed that up?
I mean, that would have been a whole thing between Capcom and Sega at the
Mhm.
time. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
even know if
just
they
weren't-
like each other.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Has Capcom and Sega have done things together, but I
Yeah.
don't think they've ever
I'm
really.
trying to remember what they've done together.
I know they had like Wily Wars back on the Genesis, and they've worked
Yeah,
with them. When they were
I
a
guess I'm thinking more
platform holder.
game only. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, game only. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
I know there's a group making a Sega versus Capcom that looks amazing.
Really?
So yeah.
Slap
could
that
be
on the
fun.
Discord sometime. All right. So I think it's about time to wrap this episode up since we've had a nice little healthy run here. If you are watching the video version of this and you'd like to listen to the audio version, you can find us anywhere you find your podcast by searching for the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast. If you're listening to audio and like to see video, find us over at youtube.com/ZenspathCom. And of course, for any of this stuff, you can find us over at zenspath.com, which is always going to have the latest episode and the audio versions available for download, along with small articles I write very rarely and things like that. If you want to talk to us directly, find us over at bit.ly/Zenspath Discord, where you can talk to us directly over on the Discord, where we get together to play multiplayer games, stuff like that. Beyond that, though, this has been episode 146, and we're out. Or I'm sorry, 145. What the hell? I'm thinking of next week already. Bye.
We're in the future.
That was Jeremy from the
Watch us
future.
in VR.
Yeah, that mess up would have been way funnier if Chase did it.